Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanao Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadi Tamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. And let's start by sharing the screen. Share. Here we are, March 23rd. So we're starting here with some material that is an answer to some questions, but we're not going through the questions. But that's what it's referring to. Explain more about how Samshumbisi, the spiritual energy in the spine, relates to the soul. The first approach we took was to look at Gurudeva's explanation of the spiritual energy in the spine. If you can remain totally centered in awareness of the energy within your spine and the energy within the head, you become aware of the same energy within everybody and everything you see. You are immediately in a sub-superconscious state when this happens. Therefore, the simple goal is stay in the consciousness of energy for the rest of your life. It is just that easy. But it is not quite that simple to accomplish because you have already trained your awareness to move into other channels of the mind. And it will do that automatically as soon as you cease to be aware of the energy within the spine. So we're creatures of mental habit. Then you forget that you are a superconscious immortal being and begin to think you are only temporal. Our rooster liked that one. You may begin to think that there is a past or that there is a future and begin to feel that the eternal now is an insecure time. Second approach we took was to look at this realm as relating to the sub-superconscious mind, known in Sanskrit as Anukarana Chitta. Superconscious mind working through the conscious and subconscious states, which brings forth intuition, clarity, and insight. And then my comment is, in other words, this is the realm of the soul as it relates to the external world. Superconscious mind has totally nothing to do with the external world. So, but taking that intuition and channeling it through our consciousness of the external world, it becomes sub-superconscious. Third approach came from the Shum lexicon. Simvum Kami, fourth dimension. Sub-superconscious mind, awareness cognizing the interrelated forces of the fifth, fourth, and third dimensions. From this detachment, we gain the ability to dissolve confusions, conflicts, and the various and varied entanglements that are encountered daily. The realm of artistic creativity. Here is the resting place where we look in and up and out and down. Consciousness should never go lower, but when soaring higher returns to this resting place, the fourth dimension. So that's the goal. This dimension relates to the Kamshumalinga Remche Nali, fourth one. To experience the portraits within this dimension, look at the world from the chest area. The fourth approach was to relate this realm to what we experience when we take that first step within and function in the Anahata Chakra. Gurudeva described it as the realm of artists, inventors, creators of all kinds. Each time you design or create anything, you are bringing the beauty of the within through your nerve system into manifestation. It's a beautiful place to be, and you can be. here all of the time by feeling the power in your spine. The minute you feel that radiant energy, you disconnect from instinctive intellectual consciousness and soar into inner consciousness. So that was a review at that time of previous material. Now for the new material. Having begun our day in a consciousness of contentment, creativity, and intuition, we soon encounter the many ways that security can be lost. So that's the question to you. What are some keys to not losing this sublime state we achieve by taking one step within during our morning sadhana? The most basic requirement is following the yamas, Hinduism's ethical restraints. Our dharmic actions, such as lying and hurting others, disturb the mind and emotions and draw us out into the swirl of external consciousness. Not letting disagreements turn into arguments is also crucial. Disagreements are natural, but they should be handled in an intelligent and harmonious way. We must always be willing to compromise to keep discussions from turning into conflicts. Domestic arguments are the most destabilizing. A major cause of such strife is the misguided view that the home is a natural place to let off steam, to vent frustrations that have built up through the day at work or school. For the sake of harmony, we must change that approach and instead consider the home a sanctuary for the entire family, never regarding it as a place where we can upset others with our emotions. Gurudeva insisted that the home should have an even higher standard of propriety than the office, the factory, or the corporate workplace. Even higher. To avoid contention in the home, we can choose other ways to throw off stress, walk through a park or along a beach, visit a yoga studio or workout facility, or stop to pray at a temple on the way home. Another area. Every day we are assaulted by a barrage of advertisements promising greater happiness if we acquire whatever they are promoting. This constant enticement presents a major challenge to sustaining a contented consciousness. Fancy new cars, faster computers, attractive clothes, all promise the ever-elusive state of mind called happiness. We can rise above this false allure by holding the perspective that we are content with what we currently have. If we acquire something more, it will be because we think it will make us happier. It will not be because we think it will make us happier, but because it will benefit our family in a meaningful way. So that's the justification of buying something new. It will benefit our family in a meaningful way. Gratitude is an important aspect of holding an inner consciousness. Key to nurturing gratitude is giving thanks for all the good things in our life. We are grateful for our family and friends, grateful for our job, our school, grateful for the home we live in, grateful for the wisdom and practices of our religion. The affirmation, I'm all right now, a metaphysical tool that Gurudeva gives us in merging with Shiva, is also helpful in sustaining an inner consciousness. It is a way to live in the eternity of the moment where we feel perfect in the now, with no future to worry about and no past to regret. You can perform this excellent practice now and again through the day. Practice it by asking yourself, am I not all right now, right this instant? And answer, I'm all right now. Keep asking and answering until you feel positive, self-assured, and centered in the Anahata chakra. And we have a question here. That ended the first topic. On the way to Nirvikalpa Samadhi, the other lower bodies drop off. Do they drop off in various lokas? Is it known where exactly they drop off to? Please elaborate on this. Thank you. Question to you then is, how many bodies are there? That's the starting point. What's going to drop off? Some reference in the Master Course to human being is that he was always dropping off bodies. So how many bodies are there? Body is sharira, of which there are 3. Kosha is sheath, of which there are 5. Sometimes these two terms get mixed up and it is thought there are 5 bodies rather than 3. Let's look at how the shariras and koshas relate. I won't ask you that one. The stula sharira, gross body, is the same as the annamaya kosha, sheath composed of food. And the karana sharira, causal body, is the same as the anandamaya kosha, sheath composed of bliss. Then we have the sukshma sharira, subtle body, which is composed of the pranamaya kosha, sheath of prana, manomaya kosha, sheath of instinctive intellectual mind, and vijnanamaya kosha, sheath of cognition. So that sharira has 3 koshas. Stula sharira, gross body, when life leaves it, decays in the bhuloka, physical world. That one's easy. The sukshma sharira, subtle body, when life leaves it, decays in the antarloka, the astral world. The karana sharira merges with the primal soul. Oh, that's the idea of pouring water back in the ocean. You take a bucket, scoop some water out, you've created a soul. Eventually, that water gets poured back in, and the soul returns to its original source. And we have 64 character qualities from our workbook. We are up to Orderliness, 41st. How would you define orderliness? The workbook gives this definition. Orderliness means keeping my environment and projects uncluttered and systematized. I cultivate it by frequently taking time to tidy and organize my workspace and living areas. The opposite is messiness. And Gurudeva's quotes. Be considerate of others always and live inconspicuously, almost transparently, by not ruffling your surroundings, by keeping the home neat and clean, by passing through a room or place and leaving it in a nicer condition than before you arrived. So that's something the monks are supposed to do. When they leave a room, they're supposed to look around, put everything in its place and make sure it's even nicer than before they started using it. Cleaning the house is an act of purifying one's immediate environment. Each piece of furniture, as well as the doorways and the walls, catches and holds the emanations of the human aura of each individual in the home, as well as each of its visitors. This residue must be wiped away through dusting and cleaning. This regular attentiveness keeps each room sparkling clean and actinic. And reflection. Take a moment to identify a few ways in which you could improve in orderliness. And as usual, our third topic is quotes from Yoga Swami's words of our Master. Oh, sorry. Our third topic is some questions we are answering. Send into satsang@hindu.org. I am very satisfied with our Kauai pilgrimage and Yerevan's blessings and sadhanas given by Satguru. I do not have, not yet, the actual thirst to visit Kashi or Maha Kumbhmela. Is it unusual? In Gurudeva's Nandinada Sutras, there are 2 sutras on the essential places of pilgrimage. Sutra 294, Pilgrimage to Shiva's Special Abodes. My devotees hold as most sacred and pilgrimage to each at least once Shiva's Sanmarga Yerevan temple on Kauai, his Himalayan and Gangetic abodes, his 5 elemental temples, and the Madurai Meenakshi citadel. Om. Okay, the second half of that. Sutra 295, Visiting Shrines to Gods and Gurus. My devotees all revere and pilgrimage to Nalur and Murugan's 6 South Indian temples, Ganeshas, many temples and shrines, especially Kumbhalavalai, it's in Alavetti, Sri Lanka, and the Samadhi shrines of our lineage. Om Namah Shivaya. Oh, my comment, neither the Maha Kumbhmela or other Kumbhmelas are mentioned by Gurudeva, so they are not essential. The worship at a Kumbhmela is basically of the river, and not a temple, specifically bathing in the river at a highly auspicious time. I am sure it is a purifying experience, but not essential. When there are so many sadhus, rishis come to take a dip in Kumbh Mela, what is the feeling of our monks? At Kauai Adinam, do they miss participating in this great event? Answer. The monks prefer quieter times than a Kumbh Mela to worship at a temple or a river. None of the monks feel a strong urge to be at a Kumbh Mela. So that's the answer. Few devotees have written in about should we all go to the Maha Kumbhmela? So that's my answer. Gurudeva didn't think it was important. It's gotten a bit crowded. You can imagine 100 years ago versus today, when it was originally created thousands of years ago, even fewer people. So it's gotten overcrowded. It's like our big cities, different experience altogether. But originally, it's a place where swamis come to teach, and devotees come to learn. So, place of teaching. I'm not sure how much teaching went on in the last Kumbh Mela. We'll find out. We're writing an article on it. So it's a place of teaching. It's a place for the various sannyasin orders to be present in a formal way. They're called akharas in North India. So they each have their moment of parade and dipping in the river. So it's kind of like a ceremony, traditional ceremony for the akharas that are living there. They're not traveling from Hawaii. And it's a time for devotees to bathe in the river at very auspicious moments. So it's all of that. We've been to, not the Maha Kumbhmela, but we've been to Kumbh Melas and stayed in Swami's camps and listened to their talks and talked to them and all. So monks have attended various Kumbh Melas, but it's not really required of monks or Gurudeva's devotees. So thank you very much.